Alright, tonight I have a Spires 14 with a group of 4 poggers that I'm auditioning and they're auditioning me. Honestly, I honestly just hope you enjoy the face-melting DPS that this group has. I was crazy impressed. For some reason, I didn't have my damage meter out, which would have really helped here, because I would love to see the numbers. But you know what? I never looked, I don't think. So, I don't need Spires 14, but it's good practice, and so I did it. Plus, I wanted to try these guys out. Honestly, my takeaway after this run is that I didn't do a great job, but the DPS was so fast, so often, that I usually found that I didn't have a way, like a time to get going. So I guess that's a good problem to have. You mean people didn't die, so that's good. But those two demon hunters were so on their kicks that I didn't have much to kick. They were so on their AoE stuns that I didn't have much to stun. Like, they've been working together for a long time, I think. And so they really already had the communication done, so I was low on utility, I think. Also, we're back to Lindsay Sterling, because I like it. Makes me feel groovy.
You were the paragon of loyalty, devils. And yet all this time it was you who led the Forsworn.
It's also very cold in my house, so I put a hat on. Which I'm now realizing as I'm wearing a t-shirt. Okay. Alright. So, we're going into the first boss here. Also, like, the mage is stealth stealing the weapon. So these menders do a weapon buff. They self-buff. You can purge it off, or and then you pick it up off the ground. Or you can just spell steal it, and then the mage can use it, right? And it's like, the mage is doing that, so I lost that utility. But that's a good thing to do. Menders do a self-buff that should be stopped. I have not put a cloudburst down on this. Oh yeah, if you've been watching these videos, you know how I feel about that. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Cassie. Cassie, come on. This is Cassie. Alright. So, this is the camera angle boss. I narrowly miss a bunch of these balls here, but the point is I miss them, so that's all I gotta do. Yeah, like there. And then the camera angle boss gets me. Like, so... I mean, like, all things considered, I'm doing fine, right? That death was standing in the wrong spot. Like, yeah, all things considered, I'm doing fine here. I just off my game. Again, I know it's a DPS phase there primarily, but I should have Cloudburst down. I also really should be rolling Flame Shocks better on the two. They have a shared health pool, right? So you can put Flame Shocks on Shadow or Pain or whatever on both of them. And
will never win!
These guys, they jump everywhere. Right now I'm running around because one's throwing a spear at me over and over again, and I'm trying to find a line of sight spot for it, but I can't.
We need to target something first.
So we're just gonna repeat that pull. So these catbird, tiger, griffin, hippogriff, go greet them, be polite mobs, are massive tank damage. So we're rotating stuns in Discord and stuff like that, and I'm always ready to set up a kite or spirit link or the death save trinket I've got.
Chugga 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 chew chew.
What's that?
Meddle all you like, mortals. You only delay.
Chugga chugga chugga.
It's funny, I continue to think this, the pride mechanic is very, very cool. I really, really like it. But it is the most rote part of these dungeons now. In this case, I'm doing a little bit different stuff because we're trying to move the pride to minimize the time we spend in the air or running after it. And so I keep I thought I'd risk setting up a base there like I usually do, but it's I didn't. And then I learned in that moment that if you're standing inside somebody else's pride burst, you still get hit. So,
Listen to
That's
reason,
fine.
devils. The Kyrian must stand united.
Not so long as you command.
I should have my camera
The
turned around.
Forsworn will forge a new path for Bastion.
Again, oh, you know what? I forgot. So I was talking last time about positioning and preparation, which I think are the two things that are the most important parts of healing high-end content. Just be in the right spot and know what's about to happen. Because if you know what's about to happen, it's just far easier. Like in this case, this is a very dangerous pull. The two rebellious fists going off requires a lot of communication and coordination, and they're totally fine. But if one goes off, I'm going to need that cloudburst. If one doesn't go off, this is going to be a solely tank damage pull, and nothing's going to matter, right? But at least I'm using it, which has been my problem. Also, they just melted that pull. Are you done? Are you done? You want to go down? No, you want to stay with Mom? You want to go down? What do you want? You want to go to bed, don't you? Um,
For eons, we have been told to purify ourselves, to let go of our memories, our identities, our loved ones, all in the name of service.
so one thing that this group is doing really well, that is fun and interesting, as much as I said the bad thing about prides. Oh, you can see the weapon there on the left of the screen. That's the spell steel weapon from the Menders that can be picked up. Anyway, one thing about prides is when you get to these higher levels, you really want to be pulling prides like with trash, right? Like, and then you're just cleaving it all down, getting it all done, and we do that a few times in this instance, and it does make it more interesting. But yeah, you know, your primary role on a pride is you know, damage or heal or whatever. But like, don't get hit by those red balls. It's bad. So more heavy tank damage here. But of course, they just get evaporated. Here, you want to go? Okay, you can go. Go or stay. Your choice. Right, so I think a fist actually went off there. I think that's probably what happened. Okay, so we evaporate the Aether Worms. And then... let's see. Oh yeah, it just goes straight off. Yeah, huh. That's fine. I mean, look at how fast that pull went out. That's... you gotta do a lot less healing if they do a lot less damage, and that was kind of the rule for most, or if they do a lot more damage, and that was kind of the rule for most of this dungeon, to be honest. That was... here, come here. Come here. She's having a bad time. She wants to go to bed. Oh, you know what's interesting? You can see the Discord names up there in the upper left. Like, pretty much constant back and forth, which I think all the successful runs of this have. So here, I'm having a rough time because the line of sight on these like triangle stairs is messed up a lot, and I'm kind of janking around trying to... I don't want to end up in a spot where it doesn't work, because sometimes it just randomly doesn't work.
You think yourself exceptional, gifted, but you will learn humility.
So I'm not, I don't have a Cloudburst down. For some reason I've abandoned AoE heals here and I don't know why. So now we're moving. Pride's on the move, always fun. And now we're going to set up some weird line of sight thing that sort of half works. But I wasn't entirely sure what they were going to do about it. So now the tank's out of line of sight of me and I'm like, what the hell's happening? But here we are now. So he's dropping the zones back here behind these pillars. And theoretically, they don't move through the pedestal bases. But they sort of do, and you're going to see this in a second. So, we've got this nice clear area without balls coming at us, except for the occasional ball that comes at us. And the result is, you don't have a lot of warning. Yeah, like right there. Anyway, it's a cool idea. I should have just moved away. I mean, that would have been a simpler thing than hoping the balls don't come out with no time to react. That would have been smarter.
My celerity is second to none.
Otherwise, I mean, that went fine, and they melted that guy too.
We sacrifice because we must. Mortal burdens would only impede our sacred duty.
So this is another pull up here, this Hellion on top of the stairs that is line of sight is a major thing on this pull, especially because it's AoE damage, right? And so you got to be able to heal everybody. So I try to kind of stand at the apex as much as I can, but then of course she puts these zones on the ground, which make that not always possible. This pull sucks. This is another of these groups are all over this expansion, where they will randomly target somebody in your group, and if more than one decides to randomly target the same person, that person's gonna die. Stinks. You can mitigate this with the tank getting around this pillar more quickly, because as soon as they can't see the tank anymore, they will. Or their primary aggro target, they will run at the thing. But you'll see me in both these pulls, I'll like set it up, just because you don't know what's going to happen. And if it's going to be unpredictable, cover anything. So you see, Healing Rain, Cloudburst Totem, it's all going down. I don't know if I need it, but I'd rather have it, which is advice that I wish Sassafras of other times would listen to, because she doesn't always do that.
Your defiance must be punished.
This boss has so much health.
You must be annihilated. You are unworthy of our cause.
So that's this part of the fight. It's going to come back later. So multiple people got hit by the frontal stomp, punch, whatever, of this guy. Yeah, a couple times. So I've got to do a lot of extra healing. Really, you only want the tank to get hit by that, and I've got to heal through a lot of stuff here. And this does two things. First of all, I'm going through mana like crazy. Second, I'm not able to DPS, and I don't put out a lot of DPS, but I do put out some, and so it extended the fight too, and that's gonna bite me later. So the tank's using all this stuff, and I mean, what I should have done here, this would have been smarter. I should have used Spirit Link sooner, and that would have made that a lot easier. I used it at the end when it was no longer necessary, which is not. And now I should step back into it, but I don't do that. Because really, more efficient heals here, more efficient heals, name of the game, right? As efficient as we can, because this is a long fight. It's a big output check. So I'm about to I've been innervated. I have potted. I don't think you can see it on the screen here. There. Pot's on cooldown. Innervate.
You must be annihilated.
Mana Tide is done. I don't have anything. And we've got what, 12% to go. So on top of tank damage, that
All who oppose us will be destroyed.
I know I have Ascendance. Do I use that?
No.
No, I didn't use it. I wonder why, because I was like creaking out healing waves there, which
As I peered into Uther's memories,
I don't
what
know.
I saw shook me to the core. But you
So healing wave is
that the
more
path is
healing for
flawed,
less mana
that we
and
serve
longer
a
cast
lie.
time than healing surge.
And so, I listened to
And I guess when you're
your
at home, it's not the worst
I
thing to
learned of the
use
great
it.
injustice you and the others thrust
Yeah.
upon him.
Yeah, I'm gonna
and
stick with that. That's
upon
fine.
us all. He seeks to free
But
us
basically,
from
if you
the
see me
prison
trickling
we
out
have
healing
built
waves,
for
things have gone
ourselves. And for that,
terribly
he has
wrong.
earned my loyalty.
And I mourn your betrayal.
Hey, I had Ascendance that I didn't use. Cloud Bursts that I almost definitely wasn't using. Gotta keep those Cloud Bursts down. Gotta do it. It stores 30% of your healing, right? So even if you drop a Cloud Burst and put it next to the tank, and only the tank's taking damage, still it's making all your heals 30% better. Oh hey, I learned a thing too about these spears. There is a way to predict which way they go. There's the angle of the handle is like north on the spear, and it's going to go out north, south, east, west every time. So you see me use it, so now that I've learned that, I see that one there, it's going to go straight left. So I'm diagonal, so I'm fine. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Which is really, really lovely. And now see, I see that they're both going straight left, so if I stand right here, I'm They're just gonna go right past me. And now this one the group uses Bloodlust on, and I actually think it's a good idea. Bloodlust doesn't have a lot of use on this end boss. Devos is an easy boss, as far as the bosses in this expansion goes. And with the long intermission phases, you're wasting Bloodlust, so better to use it here and then carry it over into the Pride. Because see, we're still lusted for 15 seconds. And we'll have a few seconds of it on the Pride after it spawns. It takes a while to spawn them here.
With your spear in hand, I will take control of the spires and forge new paragons to lead the Kyrian.
The jailer has twisted your mind, Devos. You must be stopped, no matter the cost.
So you see, sometimes I jiggle with the pry balls. I'll do that if I think I'm pointed like right at the melee pack, but I'll do it in the first second, and then that's it. I won't. Otherwise, you're just messing with people.
This spear shall pierce your heart.
Why did I run that far? It was unnecessary. So I try to dispel that. You know, she's always going to drop 2 of these, and when they're finished, they're going to drop these pools. If one's on me, I generally will leave it there. I trust myself to put it in a good spot.
I will strike you down.
And now we all moved outside of
The
every one of us. Huh.
is mine to
I think Chain Heal is a better cast there. I think I'll start doing that. And then with my Ghost Wolf and my Knife Bay Soul Shape, I pretty much always go for the farthest one, and then I consider my job done and stand in the middle. That time I dropped a Healing Tide before I ran away. I don't... Yeah. And then sometimes I will hook myself on that thing so I don't blow back and forth a lot. Whether I do it or not depends a lot on whether the group has a priest that can cast a spell, because if I hook myself on that spear case, I'm going to get hit by some of the moving ground zones, and it's going to add to the dot. And so we seem to be doing fine, and then I was like, nah, this damage sucks, and that's why I moved off of it. Yeah, I think Chain Heal's the better caster.
This spear shall pierce your heart.
Because we're all grouped up anyway. I can time it. Probably get 2 before people disperse again. Yeah. Because let's see what the hell happens here. Then I cast Chain Heal anyway. So I just both.
The Archon spear is mine to wield. Be gone from this place.
The spear! Use it to bring her down!
So I popped this. I didn't need Ascendance, but I knew I wasn't going to after this, so I pop it because we're doing great. We're about to 2-star it. That's the most healing I'm going to have to do in the end, so I might as well use it and just call that a day. And that way nothing bad happens.
Spear shall pierce your heart.
So now I'm pre-casting Healing Rain in the bow, which that's probably a good idea.
No!
Impressive, I suppose.
must
Still, I
be
do look forward.
Yeah. So,
The jailer's schemes have torn us.
yeah. Yeah, I was pretty down on myself when that started. I was like, yeah, I didn't play that well. But actually, I think I did play pretty well there. Generally was in a good spot. Generally, I was making good decisions. I stood around a lot and I didn't do anything. There was a lot of global cooldowns where I just was doing nothing, which I should be doing something. But for the most part, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Alright. I hope this helped you figure that out a little bit. Get some ideas, get some healing thoughts. And you got to meet my dog. So yeah, we'll see you next time. And I'll keep going. I'll probably get most of these done. Next one will be Necrotic Wake or Theater of Pain. I don't have a key for it, and most people I know don't have one right now, which is making that tough. But we'd like to get that done, especially this week with Theater of Pain. It's a hard week on Theater of Pain, so it'd be cool to get that done. Alright, see ya.